Here with us today to talk about all things Walt Disney World at Christmas time, MiceChat author Chloe Ferreira is joining us once again to share exactly what's going on out east when it comes to everything Christmas, because it sounds like much of what we have come to know over the course of time is no longer what will be a reality, at least for 2020. Chloe, welcome back to the show.
Thank you. How are you?
So great. It's wonderful to see you, and thanks for making time on this beautiful day to be with us. And walk us through. It looks like, you shared on MiceChat recently kind of a rundown of some things that are either changing or being eliminated at Walt Disney World. What should everybody know about Disney World at Christmas this year?
Christmas is canceled.
No.
Sadly, of course, Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party has been canceled for this year, and understandably so. It's really sad, but we understand why. Along with that, the Castle Dream Lights won't be on Cinderella Castle this year. There's no candlelight processional at Epcot, and then the gingerbread displays at the deluxe resorts aren't happening. I'm guessing because they usually have to start work on those in July, and obviously with the timeline of this year. But Disney is still planning some Christmas fun for anybody who's visiting the parks right now. November 7th through December 30th, there is the official holiday season at Walt Disney World. And there's character cavalcades, which are continuing on, are already going on right now at Magic Kingdom and all the 4 parks, actually. But now all of the characters will be in their Christmas best. And then the toy soldiers will come back out and march alongside the Main Street Philharmonic. They've been coming out several times throughout the day playing Disney favorites, but now they'll be playing Christmas tunes.
Hey.
And then instead of Castle Dream Lights, we have holiday-themed projections that will be rotating on Cinderella Castle, which will be good for Christmas photos. Wearing your masks, of course. And then at Disney Springs is the only one that's confirmed to get the famous Snope, the soapy snow effect throughout the complex. And then they're also spreading their famous elaborate Disney Christmas tree trail all over Disney Springs instead of to a confined area. And then Epcot, of course, is getting another festival in later November, the International Festival of Holidays.
So there are still some things to look forward to. It looks like some modified Christmas magic here. The castle projection, it kind of sounds like that's something that might just like go on through the evening. And even though, and we'll talk about it, but even though park hours are rather reduced in terms of nighttime activities and in terms of the evening, it does seem like the projections might kind of be on a loop or something like that. Has that been confirmed?
Yeah, so I don't know the exact schedule of them, but they did just extend park hours last night. So starting November 7th, Magic Kingdom closes at 7 p.m. instead of 6 p.m. And of course, that's after daylight savings time, so it should be dark by 6 p.m. But still, that only leaves a good hour of time for, probably everybody in the park wants to see this castle, even if it's just projections. So I don't know. I hope they plan some kind of social distancing markers for people to stand in certain places to watch it, because I can't imagine that it's not going to have some kind of music or something along with it. And if you're in the parks after dark, you know that it's a completely different experience, especially at Magic Kingdom. I wonder if Main Street's going to be lit up or anything like that. I miss being at the parks after dark, so I can't imagine everybody's going to leave before this time. So yeah, we shall see.
It's been kind of strange too, especially going through the peak heat days of summer, not having really any evening hours to spend in the theme parks, usually a time where Disney parks extend hours well into the middle of the night, no longer. And so not only has, the resurgence of Disney parks in Orlando been without those late night hours that you can really enjoy things without the heat of the day, but as we go into a time of year where hours are going to be not only reduced, but into a place where, it's darker earlier, we might at least have a little bit of time to enjoy those nighttime festivities in the parks. And Tyler, Katrina, the Disney World slate of offerings for Christmas, strange to me that there doesn't seem to be any snow except over at Disney Springs.
That is a little strange. Like, I would imagine it somewhere being like by the castle or something, going around Main Street, some kind of like flourish and stuff to kind of like spread the wealth of people taking pictures like right near the castle. But you got to pick and choose your budgets, I guess.
I'm thinking that maybe they are assuming that that's going to be their easiest way of spreading people out, because if it happens in a lot of areas of Disney Springs, then that could definitely spread people out more than if it just happened on Main Street, for example.
Yeah, that's a great point.
So I think it has to do with spreading people out. Elsa's got to get that soap thing under control, though. I mean, it's a little. I'm not a big fan of the snow stuff, so I'm kind of surprised that people love it. I guess it worked out really well at California Adventure last year. If you saw that or a couple years ago,
for
actually.
children. For
They didn't do
Wonder.
it last year, did they?
Where?
At California Adventure.
They didn't do the snow trail.
Yeah.
No. They only did that one year.
They
and
only
then
did it 1 year.
They nixed it.
That was
Wild
cool, but-
Snope flurries.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wild
When you
Snow.
least
Snope.
expect it.
I like
No.
that. Snope.
Snope. And Chloe, what is your favorite Christmas tradition at Disney World? Did it make the cut? Is there something modified at least?
It didn't make the cut. It was the Castle Dream Lights.
Aw.
I love
Oh, no.
I love the
It is
castle
beautiful.
lit up and so sparkly and pretty, and I'm heartbroken, honestly. I understand why. I don't think it would be any different to what they're doing with the castle projections, but I think it comes down to budget with hiring teams to install the lights and then of course take them down, and it just wasn't worth it to them right now, it's sad.
Yeah, definitely. So I know that's a huge piece of the experience for people that visit during the Christmas time of year, and everybody looks to have those iconic photos. You know, with
it's
that
magical.
behind
It's still on my phone as like the back screen. Like
Yeah.
it's very magical. And like if they're closing early, I get it. They close at 7. That's kind of like, I loved waiting until like the end of the night, midnight, and you're just like, this is gorgeous. And then you see it flickering as you're driving away, crying to go back to your hotel room. You're just like, no.
Tyler bawling his eyes out after seeing the dream lights.
That's me.
Yeah,
That's
that was
me.
him.
You know what I used to bawl my eyes out over was the Osborne lights. Oh my gosh. Now that's
me
sad.
back.
That's sad.
Yeah, you're going to get all of us crying here in a
I
second.
know.
That's,
Well, that's
Needed
how
sometimes.
that's what you need to do during Christmas sometimes. You just let it all go.
Yeah. Yeah, especially after this year. I
Yeah.
think we're all in for a good cry come Christmas time. It'll be great to see, I think, with various forms of entertainment offered as well. Obviously, we've seen with like Halloween coming up that there's going to be some Halloween-inspired entertainment in the parks that drastically reduced, drastically modified, but it sounds like, that's definitely coming back in the same form for Christmas time. What with your characters in Christmas attire. We learned that obviously Minnie and friends are bringing some Christmas cheer to Hollywood and Vine over at Hollywood Studios with that restaurant and character dining. So at least a little bit of Christmas cheer to be spread. And Chloe, with the reduced hours going into the Christmas time of year, the Thanksgiving time of year, obviously we don't know necessarily what December is going to look like at this point, but we do know up through November 28th that hours have been reduced and then pushed forward and then reduced in some capacities but not others. So you briefly touched on that. When it comes to people leaving the park so early, there's a lot of nighttime left for everybody to just sort of wade into, if you'll pardon the pun. But there's a lot of nighttime for people to just kind of hang out in, and there's not necessarily anything Disney's recommending you go do at this point. As somebody that's there as a local, what sort of recommendations would you give anybody that might be going during this unique time of year, during this unique time in our country? And would you suggest that they plan anything at night after the parks?
There are definitely very few options. Personally, typically in August, September months, I like to go to the water parks first and then the theme parks later in the day just because it's so hot out and I'm
Great
exhausted by like 1 p.m. So of course, the water parks being closed, that's not an option. So we typically go to the theme parks now, like late morning to the afternoon, maybe up till closing of the 5 or 6 o'clock time. And then afterwards, we've been finding ourselves either going home because we're tired or going to Disney Springs. It seems like it's the happening place right now for a lot of reasons. It's open till 10 p.m. You can get some more Disney shopping in. A lot of the restaurants are open and accepting dinner reservations. So it's a good place to kind of go and hang out within the Disney bubble. And then one of my favorite things to do, though, still, either if it's midday or after the parks, is to go to one of the resorts. I don't like to go and just take up space just because I can, especially right now, but I like to have a table service dining reservation. We've been to Sanaa at Kidani Village Animal Kingdom Lodge. That's back open I can live off the bread service there.
Yes,
And-
amen.
and then just recently we went to Geyser Point at Wilderness Lodge, which was really nice because it's outside. The quick service walk-up isn't open right now, but they serve all the same food and alcoholic beverages are available, of course. But because it's outside, it kind of gives it a good alternative than being inside and having to deal with all of that if you're paranoid about that. But yeah, I really recommend checking out some of the deluxe resorts right now. The Contemporary, I know California Grill is back open. Of course, there's no fireworks or water parade or any nighttime entertainment, but it's just another opportunity to just go at a leisurely pace and take everything in and just enjoy being on property.
That's some great suggestions there. And we did just learn that the County of Orange in Walt Disney World proper, that county in and around Walt Disney World, as well as some of the governing bodies, have agreed to increase capacity to 50% over in bars within that Central Florida area, and that's certainly something that I know when it comes to occupancy within bars that really only serve drinks and are not necessarily considered restaurants, which is how I think Disney World has gotten around a lot of that, because a lot of their places that serve alcohol also serve more meal-like items as well. So I know that that's really how they've kind of curtailed that entire thing, but there are still some places that are closed in terms of bar atmospheres. Chloe, are there any bars in Walt Disney World that are closed right now that you're looking forward to eventually having back?
I haven't tried to go to any right now. Trader Sam's is my favorite place on property, the Grog Grotto. But I'm honestly not sure if that's even open and if it's going to
Has not
open
been, no.
along
No.
with the construction that's going on in Polynesia. I don't think so.
No,
Unfortunately
Yeah, so-
not.
sad face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be
I'm
nice to have that
looking at
capacity.
all around World Showcase.
Yeah, but
And
Geyser
France.
Point was a good suggestion, though. I mean, that's
Yeah.
that's a great bar that has a lot of good food too. So
You bet.
yeah.
Yeah, get your drink on. Well, very good. And I know that those people that are planning for a Christmas trip to Walt Disney World at this point, a lot of planning in which to do, a lot of things to consider, especially now that some Christmas offerings have been either dramatically reduced or eliminated. So things that you definitely have to look into and decide whether or not this is going to be worth a trip right now, or maybe hold off and consider next year at this point. Chloe, do you think that there's enough to kind of warrant a family vacation at Christmas time? Say somebody comes every year, say it's a big family tradition. Do you feel like the offerings at this point kind of warrant that big money vacation?
I think so, as long as you know what you're getting into. I still believe that it's balancing out with the lack of wait times for attractions. It's kind of like Christmas party emptiness, what they used to be like back in the day. Every day, all the time now at Magic Kingdom. Not so much on the weekends, but I was just there 2 days ago and everything was a 10-minute wait. Mine train was like 20, which is unheard of. So if you are a ride lover, I recommend coming right now and then mixing with the Christmas goodness and decor and merchandise and food. I think you can still have a fun Christmas vacation at Disney as long as you know what you're in for.
Great wise words from a fantastic author at MiceChat. Thank you so much, Chloe, for being a part of the show once again today. And for all things Chloe Ferreira, head on over to Carousel of Chloe on social media. You can also check out her weekly column over at MiceChat.com. Chloe, we wish you well and great tidings for a wonderful holiday season as well as Halloween ahead. Thanks so much for being part of the broadcast today.
Thank you. See you later.
See you real soon.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome.